Let's look at this. A lot of issues are in court right now because of leaking of people's nude and all of those things. And I don't know what Nigerians stand to gain from leaking people's nude and all of those. And then a spiritualist asks you that you haven't seen him before. Send me your nude picture. Is it that there is nothing? Is it that there should be a forum where they have to educate youth again concerning this? Because even as it's happening, even as we are talking about it now, there is someone somewhere that has decided to allow his or herself to be deceived. That the only way you can make wealth is by sending your nude. And then at the end of the day, they will use it for money laundering. And before you know, it will cause chaos. So what do you think can be done to be able to speak into the minds of Nigerians that the best way to go about it is not sending nudes? Because that is what actually brought the whole of this. She sent the money that the spiritualist said, I need so amount to be able to do what I want to do for you. So where the issue now came up was when the man said, you have to send so amount of money or I'm going to post your nude out. So that was where the whole thing started. So it means that this has a lot to do it has a lot to do with psychological issues. So what do you think the government should do? Because you brought the government into this. Because if you're leaving me to advise myself, it will be very difficult. And if I'm leaving you to advise me, because likes attracts likes, there's every tendency that most times when we go into this, we don't go alone. We have friends, we have people that we trust. So there's every tendency that you can't even advise me because we are in this together. So how are we going to get youth out of this?
In order not to overextend, because that's a topic of discussion on its own. You get the point. It's a topic of discussion specifically that deals with a lot of time to be able to unravel what the solutions could be if somebody finds themselves in the situation where this woman found herself. And I'm not trying to say let's point blames and let's call who is at fault, but let's find solutions. Now there are agencies of government and there are non-governmental agencies too that they have the key role of educating and enlightening people, mostly young women, about sharing of nudes and the impact it might have in their lives or in subsequent times. I look at the fact that Nigerian Orientation Agency has not been up and doing. I think this should be the second time I'm calling them out. Nigerian National Orientation Agency should have taken this up, because knowing that it was at a point, it was almost like a scourge. It was almost like very rampant in Nigeria, where people are always defrauded because they have their nudes in places where they are not supposed to have their nudes. Now, there are also National Association of Women Lawyers. You understand? Women lawyers, they do take up this case, and I also think if they are hearing us now, that she could also, okay, it's already in the police purview, so the police also handles that, because women lawyers also take up these challenges on their behalf. So I think they not also to just sit down and wait for these cases to come to them. They should also go to schools, go to universities, go to the secondary schools, maybe the senior secondary schools, go to the universities, go to the orientation camps of the NYSC and educate young women and even the men.
And now what about the CEOs of these platforms, like these social media platforms? You know, I know a lot of people are saying that when, like, some of these platforms is actually AI robot that is now controlling it. There is a transaction between two persons. And do you think they have a role to play when it comes to do it, to be able to cop this? Do you think they have a lot to do? Because I mean, what you do in the closets with your friend, wherever he or she is, I don't know about it. It's between both of you. What do you think there is something they can do to be able to cop this, because it's becoming alarming?
I think the Ministry of Youth, in conjunction with the Ministry of Information Communication Technology, should be able to have a direct contact with Google, with Facebook, with most of the social media handles that Nigerians are very popular in, and also be able to have a hotline that so and so person has their nudes exposed. Please, within the next 10 to 12 hours, please, we need or even as immediate as possible, we need it taken down.